Oh,
Slime a ding dong.
Mark, cue the music. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to episode 331 of Your Overseas Connection, the official podcast of the G4TE.com community. That is your gateway for a gaming community as well as a gateway for little ping sounds in the background. I am just one of your humble hosts today, Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. And joining me this week, it's the B team in full. We have, starting from my right to my left, Miss Kim Woods.
Hiya, everybody. I'm GamerGirl27 on the Xbox and on Steam, and at GamerGirl27 at Twitter. So.
Excellent. Thanks, Kim, for joining. How are things going in
Better today, but it's been a week.
It's been a week. I hear you.
It's been a week, yeah.
It has been a week. That is putting it lightly. The cream filling of this Oreo sandwich in the middle, Mark Wright.
I'm the filling this time.
You are the filling.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Hello everyone. Mark Alex on Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, and Twitter.
Yes.
Great to be back again.
It's good to have you back, Mark. Mark, for those that want to become friends with you, your gamer tag is a little tricky. It's spell it out. Help a brother out.
It's not that difficult, is it?
It's the Nix part.
Oh, right, yeah, I suppose, it could be a CK. It's MarKanix.
Right. Please
Mark
spam
Nix.
Mark now.
Yeah, and,
Yes.
I'm that on everything. Steam,
Right.
PSN, Xbox Live, so...
Mark, what is your driver's license number and social security number?
It's WR...
All right, Mark, thank you for joining the show. And certainly, last but not least, the mouth from the south. Nicole Radowski. Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good.
I'm excited to be here. It's been a while.
It has. It has been a little while. You've been busy as well. Life gets in the way sometimes.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. Speaking of life getting in the way, this is Saturday. This is
Yes.
weirdness.
It feels weird, yeah.
Saturday, but that's because life was getting in a little way, at least from my end. I know, Kim, you had kind of similar situations.
mine.
And Nicole. Work, it was a tough week, and so we're experimenting a little bit, testing out Saturdays. Maybe give it another couple weeks to see how it goes. So far, so good.
It's
Yes,
like
Nicole.
experimental sex.
That's where I was
Sorry.
going with this, Nicole. Yes. And just like
I'm
that,
so sorry.
podcast off to a fantastic start. So Saturday, we're going to test it out, see how we like it, see how our families like it, and also the fans. We want to get feedback from those listening in, whether it be live or if you're listening to this on iTunes. Obviously, if you're listening on this on iTunes, it's not as big a deal. But moving the
Apart from
podcast
being
to the
a day
weekend,
late.
yeah, it's a day later. Apologies for that, but schedule-wise, it seems to work out a little bit better, I think. And also, just any breaking news, we'll get the whole week now. I suppose we should say, if you are listening to this on iTunes and you ever thought you wanted to maybe listen in live, we podcast normally Fridays, but we're testing out Saturdays, 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. UK time. And all you need to do is go to your favorite web browser, whether it be Chrome or Edge.
Windows 10, I like it.
Just type in live.g4te.com, and that will magically transport you to our Twitch page, where you will be greeted with our smiling faces if we are podcasting at that point in time. Otherwise, it's going to have some crazy offline message. All right, well, let's dive into it. First, a quick couple shout-outs. One, StormyX99, thank you for following us on Twitch. Recently started to follow us on Twitch, so we appreciate that. And Nicole, You raised your hand for this, so I would love for you. We have a listener that wrote into us for the first time, so I wanted to get this out of the way and get the email up first and foremost. So give it a go.
Says, hello. I've been listening for a few months now and wanted to check in. Please forgive me for the crazy games I put out as my victory achieved tweets. I just really like Japanese rhythm games. On that subject, have any of you played a Taiko no Tatsujin Taiko Drum Master game? If so, which one is your favorite? If not, what the heck is wrong with you? Keep up the great podcast. I really enjoy listening while I'm at work. Shannon Reifenberg. And she's from the South.
She is from the South. It is fitting that you have read off this message, Nicole. So
she's not far from me, actually.
I'm sorry, Shannon. You should lock your doors immediately. So let's address her question. Taiko Drum Master, because I'm not going to try and say the other word.
Tatsujin. Gonna say it like that.
Which of them is our favourites?
Right.
Well,
I
I've
have
never
a favorite.
even heard of it.
Yeah, my favorite would be the one I have not played so far. I'm not one for rhythm games, mostly because I've been repeatedly told by my wife, and I believe it, I do not have rhythm. So that lends itself to not playing those kind of games. I don't know that we're much on the rhythm, although I have to admit, I could be swayed this generation for maybe tapping into a Guitar Hero or Rock Band game. My wife loves music, so I have a feeling that will be something in the future I'll get into. I don't know if it's really not the same thing. I should say as I'm really thinking about it. A rhythm game is not necessarily a music-based game. It is really just about kind of a rhythm controls kind of rhythmic button tapping and movement, I believe. Again, could be wrong. Never played one of those games. I'm going to stop talking. Shannon, thank you for the email. We really appreciate it. And because you have graciously emailed the podcast, Nicole is automatically going to be your friend for life. So there you go. And don't thank us yet. You have to actually talk to her and experience playing games with Nicole. She's mean. She's really mean.
I'm not.
She never stops talking.
Oh, and she keeps talking as she's shooting you in the back.
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
Greg!
And that's just on
I'm
Minecraft.
yelling
Yeah.
at the fans. That's the difference, because y'all don't do it right. No.
No. Yeah.
That's why I call her Sarge.
No, in fact,
Oh.
Nicole, I do recall when we first met, the first time we met was a Halo game night. And all I kept hearing throughout the course of the night was, hey, Murphy's Law, brap, brap. Fuck. Hey, Murphy's Law, brap, brap. Like, son of a... Anyway. All right. Well,
Usually it wasn't brat brat. It was just ping.
yeah, true.
I think we were playing.
Excuse me.
We were probably playing SWAT.
SWAT, yeah,
Yeah.
Halo 4, yeah.
Yes, because that's my. Oh God, I love that game. That's a sexy game. And we used to play SWAT guns all the time too,
Yeah.
which was SWAT with shotgun. God, that was so much fun. I
And there
cannot
was
wait.
one we used to do in the dark as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, that map that I created. That was
Yeah.
yes. You were invisible,
black.
and it was all the lighting was dark. Oh, that was so much fun. I have to do that again.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you get your X-Bone and you get Master Chief Collection, we can do that.
Yep.
As soon as I win the lotto or get a sugar daddy.
All
So
right.
I need some volunteers. No.
Yes, which you just
Fraser
heard
says
that
Shannon's
correctly.
a dude.
All right. Well, then apologies, Shannon. Oops.
He might still want to
Sorry.
be friends with Nicole.
Yeah. You can still be friends with Nicole. Yeah, that would be important to note. I think we just automatically assumed, and yeah, that's our bad. So now that we feel like assholes, let's move on.
Now that's
you
like
don't.
really
Um,
awkward.
Yeah. This just got extremely awkward. Let's talk about games we've been playing. Let's just, we'll get away from being awkward. Nicole, let's talk Witcher 3.
Yes, let's. So, Metal Dude that I couldn't defeat, I did not put him on easy. I left him on normal. God, that sounds so wrong.
Right?
Anyway, I beat
Wait,
him.
just starting at Metal Dude sounds wrong.
Right.
But because
Explain
when
what
you
Metal
see
Dude
the
is.
cut-in scene, he's like covered head to toe in armor.
Yeah, he's one of the Oh God, now I can't think of the name of
Yes, he's one of those.
the soldiers
And-
that are following Siri.
Yes. So
Ah.
I can't think of the stupid name of the
regens
group.
all the time. So like once you get him down to a certain level, he lets out those stupid little demon dog things. And while he's in that ice bubble that you can't touch because it knocks you on your ass,
Right.
then he'll regen and you're fighting off those other things and keeping him off that chick whose shirt's always open. Kira, that's her name. I couldn't remember.
Siri.
No, Kira's the other girl with him.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because y'all are both looking for...
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a...
No, but I do want to give her, like, some ribbon or maybe some tape. Just
Gunny sack.
something to keep the girls where they belong.
Nicole,
'Cause
let the
What?
girls be.
I'm worried they're going to fall out.
Why worry about such trivial things? All right, so you beat Metal Dude. You have
Yes,
now
I-
progressed finally. You're moving on.
Yes.
All
That's
right,
as far as I got, though.
okay.
Because then my kids came over and they're like, can we play? I was like, yes. So
Nice.
they've been playing the heck out of all kinds of stuff. Oh God, and Mark, we played what did we play, Mark? You didn't
Rocket
play
League?
Thank you, Rocket League.
Yes.
Yes.
Rocket League.
Oh my God, I love that game.
It's gay. Guess. I'm just because it's an ace game, and I said it as one word. It's an ace game, and it's really good.
It is. It's so much fun. I wasn't
Yeah.
okay. So Shiny and Belle and them had asked me to play, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll give it a go because I had seen my son play it, and I'm thinking whatever. And I get in there, and I couldn't do anything right off the bat. But once I scored my first goal, I was all into it. It was so much fun driving this car to play footy, soccer, football, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
I like
That is
little remote
fun.
control cars, aren't they? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good, and it's so simple, but it's quite in depth. It's a lot of
Oh,
fun.
it's flat. It's a very good group game. Very good
Yeah.
group.
Yeah,
So-
we're playing tonight actually. If you want after the podcast, if you're up for it.
Okay.
So I played last Saturday night with Shiny and Belle and Ducky and everyone. It was alright. Scream.
Oh, they're a blast to play with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good times. We Verbal Rob from he's in another podcast we won't mention.
We can mention his podcast. We are not afraid to mention other people's podcasts. Boss Wave podcast, right?
Boss Wave.
Boss
Yeah.
Wave. We like the Boss
He's
Wave.
so sweet. But he was in there too, and it was like every time he was on my team, I felt so bad though. I just kept getting in his way. So every time he was on my team, we would lose.
But was
every
he
time he
was
was
he verbose?
Uh,
that just crashed.
he was Rob.
All right. By the way, quick apologies to listeners because I was trying to mute myself while I was coughing, and I was muting the Skype mic, but I realized that probably didn't mute my mic anyway, so they probably got an earful of coughing.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys didn't hear me coughing, but the rest of the world, unfortunately, probably did. So I will.
they'll get over it.
Just awful.
Yeah, their speakers
See,
have been blown out by now.
It's just amateur, Greg. Just an amateur.
I know, total amateur.
Well,
Speaking.
they've been doing this for so long. So
Yeah,
We've got
you know.
quite a few people in the chat now.
let's give him a shout out.
Yeah, we've got our good fellow co-hoster Fraser Moo. And we've got some new names in here. We've got Roy295. We've got Saladin, Soul Brother 1, who's been in a few times before, and good old Step J's in.
Right
So
on.
nice to see you guys in the chat.
Every time I see Soul Brother, I immediately think of Soul Train, and I'm just Soul Train.
I do the same thing. It's not just me. Oh,
No,
good.
not at all.
wait.
Uh,
Knowing that it's just you and me is just not good.
no. Mark, let's talk about what you've been playing.
Yeah, like I've just mentioned with Nicole, a bit more Rocket League. There's nothing more to add on that really. Just getting plenty of unlocks now, unlocking a lot of paint, customizations, and toppers for my car, like hats. And I've got a siren beacon now, which is quite apt for me for my job. and
Yeah,
that.
I put
Right.
the skull on my car right off. As soon as
Yeah.
I got that Freeman skull, I was all over it.
Done a bit more F1 2015, getting more into that, getting used to it now. Like I said last week, I'd just done one race, but I've been playing a lot of online multiplayer with the track guys this week, and having a lot of fun with that. We did a 100% race in Monaco in the wet, and it was a nightmare. I think I must have crashed every lap.
Was that your video of touching the wall?
Yeah, spinning around in the tunnel.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was good. By the way, nice.
Yeah.
You added in the music. That was good. It was a good touch. I got a kick out of that.
Just one thing I wanted to add from what I mentioned last week on it. If you press the left bumper button, it brings up a quick menu box. And it's on that menu box. You've got options like weather updates, when you want to pit in and stuff, and car updates. Rather than having to scroll through and manually select it with your buttons, because obviously you like doing 200 mile an hour and it's hard to do it, you can use voice commands.
Oh, nice.
So you can say, box this lap or weather forecast. It's really, really good. And you don't even need a Kinect, because it uses a mic on your headset.
Oh, that's really nice.
So I think that's a brilliant addition they've done. And
Mark?
it's had a... Yes?
Does it have trouble with your accent?
No?
Just
asking.
us, Nicole. Just us.
Nope.
No. I'm just
it understands
asking because I know
Yorkshire.
some of the voice commands actually do have trouble with people's
I know,
accents,
yeah.
not yours
No,
per se.
Yeah. No. Sometimes the Xbox itself has trouble, and I have to shout a few times, like record that. It doesn't always pick it up, but yeah, no, this has picked it up every time.
Yeah,
I know
understands Yorkshire
Greg's
for sure.
phone has trouble with his accent.
Yeah.
Yes, my Californian accent is horrible. No, my phone has like a devil inside of it. It types whatever the hell it damn well feels like, and then I have to translate. And the problem is I use a lot of, I don't like to text and drive per se. So, if I see a message, I'll respond with voice to text because I feel that's a good substitute. Apparently not. Most of my messages that come to you guys never come over correctly.
Fraser's just put in the chat, it's put, instead of saying box this lap, I say, aye lad, I'll pit the car this lap. You won't understand that, will you?
Not a clue. In fact, that was like gibberish. It might as well have been Charlie Brown words.
That was and the other thing is, it's had an update this week, so they've added a few extra features and fixed a few bugs. Still got a bit of screen tearing though.
Right.
But one of the fixes is, before, on previous games, you could display on the screen your damage and your tyre wear. They didn't have it in this game, but they've patched that in now, so that's quite good.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of patches, by the way, The Witcher 3 got a big patch this week. Another big patch. Yes. Every patch they have is like 7 gigs now.
I'm going to say, 7 gigs on it, yeah.
There's a joke to be made about pussy on the screen, but I'm not going to do it. Stay away from
No, you're not.
No.
Yeah,
all right, Mark, what else?
Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I know it's an old game, but ages ago I bought the season pass for it on the PS4, and I've been going through a lot of my games, and I'm trading quite a few in and selling a few on eBay, and I thought I need to play the DLC before I sell that. So I played Freedom Cry and the is it Aveline DLC. Okay. The Aveline one was really, really brief. It was just a couple of missions, but Freedom Cry was quite interesting. Touching on the slavery side of things, you had to free a lot of slaves and stuff.
Okay.
You played as Adewale, who was the main guy in the main game's sort of like right-hand man. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Similar gameplay mechanics and everything, just like the main game, but just a different storyline, different characters, really.
Okay.
And finally, today and the other day, I've played some more Titanfall after a long sabbatical from playing it. I've not played it for ages.
They've done a lot to that game since then, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, yeah. There was so much stuff on the menus. I couldn't believe it. And they've got like a new ranked mode, which I'm finding really good.
It's like the game they should have launched.
Yeah. But this ranked mode's got seasons, so every season it resets. So
really?
I'm leveling that up. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play with you today. The game, that is, Nicole and Ken.
Didn't say anything. I was looking at this Taiko drum thing.
That is on my to-do list this weekend. So, Mark, we have to get some Titanfall in. I'm pretty sure we could sucker Jason Johnson into playing some Titanfall as well. I know he's been playing it a good bunch.
Well, first couple of games were a bit rusty, but it's like a lot of other games. It's like getting into a old comfy pair of slippers. It felt really good, and I got back into the swing of it, and I really enjoyed it. But there's a lot of maps I don't know because of the new DLC. I've never played the last DLC pack. So Roy in the chat's just put, is anyone still playing Titanfall? There are still quite a few online.
Mark Wright.
Yes,
the answer is Mark Wright.
Yeah. Some of the game modes, it tells you on the screen how many people are playing online at that moment in time.
Okay.
Some of the game modes didn't have many in at all, but the attrition one still had sort of like, I think it was about 8,000 or 9,000 playing worldwide.
Okay. All right.
So it's still got a decent following, and it's still a cracking game.
Yeah.
Brilliant game.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's me for this week.
Okay. All right. Well, Kim, I saved you and I for last because I figured we would be covering one game together. Why don't you real quickly dive into Dragon Age Inquisition, and then we'll talk about Submerged.
Okay, well, there's not really much to say. I played a little Dragon Age. I think I went out to find the last piece of one of the mosaics or something, so I finally have those done. And yeah, that's been about it for me in Dragon Age this week. So.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So Submerged, we got a couple review codes that were given to us by Uppercut Games, so we need to get that out of the way. We did not actually pay for the game. But let's talk a little bit about this. And Mark, I think you actually might have dabbled a little on Submerged as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I fired it up and I played with sort of like the very intro bit, but I didn't get far. But it looks gorgeous. It looks quite interesting. It reminds me of Brothers, that sort of graphical image, but gameplay I don't know yet because I haven't played that much of it.
Okay. Well, I know one of our podcast counterparts, Fraser Moore, he did not like this game whatsoever. He had a lot of difficulty with the frame rate issues the game has, and let's get it out of the way. The game is not a perfect game. It's not going to win Game of the Year. It does suffer from some frame rate issues, significant at times. It really does chug, and aesthetically, there's at times the game looks really nice, and then there's at times it can look pretty ugly. Where you just kind of look at it and you're like, not necessarily your best foot forward. But I think, Kim, you and I both, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I mean, when we were kind of going back and forth over WhatsApp, we were talking about the fact that the story kind of started to hook us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I completed the game today, so I have played all the way through it.
Nice.
Yes, and the story as it is, this is tough because I will say this right now. My recommendation on this is not to buy it. I don't think it is a worthwhile $20 purchase because I think that's what it was up on Xbox Live. I could be wrong, but I want to say it was $20. It might be $15, so. But either way, those price points still feel a little too steep for me. I think if this game was a $10 game, it's probably priced better and maybe where it should be. Well, Kim, why don't you give some of your thoughts before I go on to any more of my... It's not really a tirade, because I do have positives about this game, and I want to get some of the negatives out of the way, and then get into the positives.
Well, yeah, like you said, there was definitely frame rate issues. I mean, you'd sit there and you'd go to, click on one of the little story books, you'd go and find them, and it would, stutter and stop, and you'd wonder if it was going to freeze up, and then finally, eventually, it would finally open up and, show you the screen and all that stuff. And, I mean, that was a little rough. But otherwise, like you said, it is a pretty game. I mean, yeah, there are other times you're looking at going, oh my god, what is that? It would stutter around so much. But, yeah, I don't know. I've enjoyed it. I'm not done with it. I've put, 4 or 5 hours probably into it. But, what I've done with it, I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
I can see, though, where I don't know if you want to call them fetch quests, but, going to find all the story deals and all that, I can see where that's going to get tiring,
Right.
Because sometimes you miss the one or two and you've already been to that building maybe twice already, and then you've got to go back because then you found the little icon. So, right. I can see where that would wear on you from time to time. Yeah,
so, kind of setting up the premise of the game for those that aren't familiar with it, and I'm assuming most people are not going to be familiar with Submerged. Think of it as a game where you play the role of a castaway. You're a young lady who is on this boat. You arrive to this, basically a city that has been more or less submerged in water, but many parts of the tallest buildings are still above water. And the real premise of there's no combat in the game. It is all about exploration and the exploration and puzzle quest, if you will, are pretty basic. I don't think there's any time where you're not going to be able to solve how to get to an item that you're trying to reach. And the items that you're trying to reach are basically there's like fragments of story. So as you collect them, you will unlock little pictures that are kind of like hand-drawn, kind of stick figure pictures, very primitive, and they're telling a story. And there's basically two different stories that are told. There's the story of the young girl and boy who you quickly find out are brother and sister. And the brother has been injured somehow, and so the young girl is basically you dock your boat, and it basically brings her brother ashore, and then she is trying to find and scavenge for things to help her brother get better. And that's the overall premise of the game. And so you set out as the young girl, and you scale all of these buildings and climbing it, kind of almost like an Uncharted or Tomb Raider-like climbing. Probably more like Uncharted as I really think about it. Or maybe even a little Assassin's Creed. It's very easy. There's no skill involved.
Then it wasn't Tomb Raider.
Yeah, you can't fall off anything.
No, you can't.
Nothing's going to attack you. There's no combat in the game. It's just literally about uncovering this story, and it's a collectathon. So kind of like Assassin's Creed, there's things you can go out there and collect, the story elements, and that will unfold and tell you kind of the story of the city and how it became submerged. And then also for the family side of it, for the little girl and boy, as you reach key elements to help him get better, you unlock like 4 panels of the story. And that was the thing that really had kind of hooked me, and I think it hooked you, Kim. It was trying to kind of get a sense of, well, okay, what's the backstory and what is their story here? And there are some interesting things happening within the city. Again, even though I'm saying don't buy it, I don't really want to give away the story for those that may buy it on a sale or something. So there are certain little elements that pop up where you're like, hey, did I just see something? And that happened to me early on, and I was like, at first I thought maybe there was like some kind of robot or something, but there are humanoid-like creatures in this area as well. And I should say, there's some kind of fungus or something that has kind of also taken over the city, and it's infected all of the wildlife.
A fungus among us?
A fungus among us, yes. Like the whales and dolphins all have this kind of sickly green skin tone. In some respects, it almost reminds me of like a penny that's been basically kind of
oxidized.
Oxidized, thank you. And yeah. You're here for me, Nicole, I know. So it's got that green color with a little bit of the reddish brown. That's the color of the skin of all of these creatures, and some of the algae and stuff that's floating within the water. So that being said, to be perfectly frank, the payoff of the end story, I felt it missed the mark. I expected more than what I got. I will say this. Anybody who is an achievement hunter, listen up. This game you want to keep on your radar for the next Gamerscore challenge.
Definitely.
Because there are 10 achievements in the entire game. And 9 of them, all worth 100 points each, are very achievable within probably 5 hours of gameplay.
I got 100 points instantly just by watching the credits.
Exactly.
Oh no, you can take photographs or something?
Yeah.
Take a postcard.
Right.
Postcard, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I did that, and 100 points popped up. Oh, that was nice.
I would also like to complain about the take a postcard thing, because it says take a postcard, and it goes into this photo mode, but there's no way to make a picture. You can't actually take a picture. It just is like, it's it's the dumbest thing in the world, to be perfectly
Yeah.
honest. It's
I
like,
haven't tried it, so I didn't
yeah,
know.
you go into postcard mode and you're thinking it's going to be like a screen capture thing where you're like
Yeah.
taking a picture.
I
But
use the Xbox
Right.
screen capture app to capture the screen in a second, which is pointless, really, isn't it?
right, because all you do is you go into that mode and you hold the camera still for a second and the achievement unlocks and you're done.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I questioned that one a little bit, but overall, I thought this was it's a great change of pace from shooter stuff. Just the exploratory part of it I thought was really neat. But again, I say this is a game that, to me, it's a wait, get it up on sale, or if you're doing one of the big gamer score challenges that we do every once in a while, definitely keep this game in your back pocket because again, 10 achievements for the entire game. Everything's worth 100 points, and 9 of those achievements I unlocked within probably about 6 hours of gameplay, and probably could have unlocked a lot of them quicker had I really thought about trying to just go for the achievements. So that's Submerged. Any last thoughts, Kim, on Submerged?
No, not really. You pretty well summed it up. I'm kind of with you. If it's on sale for like $5-10, I say go for it. If it's something you're fairly interested in. But yeah, you pretty well summed it up what I thought about it too. So.
Okay. All right. Kim, anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I did a little bit of golf club, and gosh, it's amazing what happens when you take a lot of time away from playing the golf club. My putting was off. Horrible round of golf, just like real life. Also played a little Halo 2 Anniversary, but I played it streaming to my PC through Windows 10.
Oh, Windows 10, yeah.
Yeah. So
that app is superb, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
really.
really impressed with Windows 10.
Yeah, I was really impressed. Visually speaking, it looked fantastic. I will say I would not recommend trying to do a multiplayer game, at least so far. It seems like there's a touch of lag you can still feel within the control scheme. And obviously that may vary depending upon your Wi-Fi connections within the house. If you have a lot of interference, that kind of thing, it may impact that even more. It's very similar to, in a lot of ways, the PS4 with syncing up to like the Vita.
Vita, yeah, and the PS TV.
Yeah. So, but overall, loved it, and just loved getting into Halo 2. They did such a great job in the Master Chief Collection in terms of updating the visuals, both cutscene-wise and just in-game. Because in-game, it looks fantastic. I was playing some of the missions as the Arbiter, and I was just amazed as I was looking at the screen and just looking at his arm textures as I was watching him. He was holding the sword, and I was just kind of like, yeah, they did a good job. It's very nice. It's very nice. All right, that does it for gameplay. Unless anybody else has something they want to add in. No? Silence is golden. All right, news quiz. A news quiz. No, we don't have a news quiz. No. Yeah, Gamescom really was the main thing that happened this past week. And in fact, there wasn't a ton of news that came out of Gamescom outside of really the Microsoft conference. I was looking for stuff from EA or Blizzard. I think Blizzard did some stuff around Hearthstone. I could be wrong. But it was just kind of like playable character stuff. Not terribly sexy. I know Sony announced a portable projector that can plug into the PS4. So it displays up to a 120-inch screen on a wall, which is kind of nice. The only downside is it's, I believe, $400 US, so $399 US, and it displays at 720p, which that was a disappointment to hear. Yeah, that was a pretty big disappointment, especially for the PS4, which.
And especially since they're phasing that out. Like everything now comes in HD and 1080p, right. And they're trying to phase out all those. I'm like, you can buy a 720p TV for cheap.
Yeah.
So why would you start a projector at that?
You can even buy 1080p projectors for a few £100 now, can't you?
Yeah. That's ridiculous on their part.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Unless that was somehow a misprint within the news that I read, but yeah, it's my understanding, 720p and basically the price of a console. That was actually kind of a killer in some respects as well. But again, it is also a display unit, so I mean it's kind of like a TV in itself. So I believe it does have built-in speakers as well, but I would not want to listen to anything coming through a projector that basically is about the size of two cell phones taped together.
Oh, is that how big
Yeah.
it was?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
tiny.
wow.
It's very
I
tiny.
suppose, yeah, portable. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
appeal in it, I suppose.
Yeah.
The smaller things are more expensive, yeah. I thought it meant it was a full-size projector.
No. It is tiny. Like you could put it in the back of your pocket and take it to your friend's house.
Stop
type
giggling,
thing.
you.
Sorry.
Size
Yes.
does not matter.
No.
I just hit them up in Google, and there's portable projectors way cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's the quality. I don't know. The Microsoft concert or conference that kicked off on Tuesday, and Mark, you and I woke up bright-eyed, bushy-tailed to watch that. Although I think you came home from work. Was that, or you were off that day?
No, I were off work. Yeah. So we got. Did we get an Xbox Live party or did
Yes,
we Skype?
we started up a party and
Xbox Live. Yeah.
we then ignored Robin Tate for basically an hour. Robin was trying to join our party, and I think he was trying to join from his.
I was trying to drive from work in the conference room.
He
or
was in a
something. He
conference
sneaks
room at
away.
work.
Yeah, but he was using his Surface to try and connect up to us, and there was just no audio coming over from him, so that didn't quite work. But he was in the party. That was the amazing part. But I think the microphone part of it wasn't working. So Microsoft conference, they kicked off. We saw gameplay from Quantum Break, from Crackdown 3, and from Scalebound. Basically, like right off the bat, which kind of surprised me. I figured they would be saving some of that for the end of the show. Did all three of you get a chance to see all three gameplay?
I saw Scalebound. That was about it. I wasn't really too worried about Crackdown 3.
Oh, what?
I know.
Off the podcast. Go away
seriously,
with
Kim, you just got fired.
I'm gone.
I thought Quantum
Okay.
Break looked really good as well.
Yeah, Quantum Break.
We haven't really seen much gameplay, have we? But it looked quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think in an order of like favorite to least favorite, it went Quantum Break, Crackdown 3, Scalebound for me.
Yeah.
Scalebound, I loved the visuals, and I am cautiously optimistic it's not going to be too Japanesey, because you know me, I'm not a big fan of the Japanese RPG type games or even action-based games. Like, I cannot stand Dynasty Warriors, and at first I got a quick like shiver that this was like Dynasty Warriors with dragons. But as I watched more of it, I think it has a little bit more of a Devil May Cry kind of feel for the combat. But it still has some of that quirky Japanese, this is how Americans sound and act kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on Scalebound. But visually it looked fantastic, and I think it's one that's going to be very popular with a lot of people. Crackdown 3, hey, Power of the Cloud. Let's talk about that real quick. That was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So
apparently it's only multiplayer, but
Right.
the destruction of the environments is all going to be computed in the cloud,
yeah,
allegedly. So it's about time. They've been on about for years, haven't they? Even leading up to the launch of a Xbox One, the power of the cloud. But I'll be honest, I've not seen nothing what's being cloud powered. It's not made any difference to me.
Well, yeah. So you have seen it. You have seen it in Titanfall
flower power.
per se, but you know, and even Forza, they've utilized it, but not the way we had thought of it. You know, they had.
I think Driver Tars is the biggest push we've seen, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah. We had always heard that it was going to be used for computation, not just basically downloading different driver AI to you type thing. So Crackdown 3, basically all the destruction, all the physics calculations are happening in the cloud and being beamed back down to your Xbox One in multiplayer only sessions, which also makes sense because if you think about it, they're basically making in multiplayer the entire city can be destroyed in Crackdown 3. And it's this massive city, but in the single player, we know that Crackdown is famous for these orbs and hunting for the orbs.
God.
So if you're destroying buildings, it kind of defeats the whole notion of having to hunt for the orbs when you could just be like, I'll just blow the building up instead of having to climb up it. So,
Yeah.
so for good reason, they're not making the destruction happening in the single player side of it. And also, I'm kind of happy about that because that also means that the single player should be able to be played offline. So that
Yeah.
should alleviate some of the.
But I hope you can do it co-op though, still, like you could with the other two. I'm sure you can.
I would hope so.
Easy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would hope so. Certainly,
It
we
does
know.
Yeah.
look pretty though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just dreading the orbs. Them orbs in Crackdown 1 were, and Crackdown 2 were just like crack cocaine to me. I was just hooked on them. And I am still
Hence
to
the
this
name
day,
of the game.
yeah, yeah. I'm still to this day highly pissed that I've got 499 orbs in Crackdown 1. There is one fucking orb somewhere in that city hiding from me, and I cannot find it.
It's right around the corner, Mark.
See,
Yeah.
and that's like me with those stupid feathers in Assassin's Creed. Is
Yeah.
it feathers or flags? I don't. Whatever was in first
Both.
one,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I'm
first
missing
feathers,
one.
yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
In Crackdown 2, they made it too easy because you had a ping radar, and
Right.
I might made it too easy. I've got all of them in Crackdown 2, but yeah,
Overachiever.
someone's yeah. So someone told me about the first one. If you use a sniper rifle, go on a tall building, you just look through the scope of the building, you'll find it no problem. Nah. And it's an agility, it's an agility orb as well, so it's one on a building. But I cannot find it.
Oh, how funny.
So,
Yeah.
when it comes backward compatible, I'm going to go back and find that fucker. Anyway,
You
carry
did.
on.
You
Yeah.
go, Mark.
We're
That's
just going
how
to see
passionate I am about
yeah,
that last orb.
on Mark's playlist is just going to be for like weeks on end. Crackdown, orb
Yeah.
hunting.
If you look
Uh,
at my active, it'll be achievements for all these orbs, and that'll be it for weeks and weeks.
Quantum Break, it was interesting because we finally unveiled how the TV is going to work. So there are, for those that don't know, Quantum Break is a time control or time shift third-person game where you control time. It all visually looks very impressive, but Remedy had also indicated that there was going to be a TV show that was going to be integrated into the game. And a lot of people thought that with Microsoft doing away with their entertainment television stuff for a lot of the TV programming that they had originally planned on doing, they kind of canned, that this might be going away. It's still here. In fact, it now really looks like they've upped the level of production on this. They brought in new actors. They
Some
have
big name
changed,
actors as well.
changed the cast around to really kind of rival, I would say, some of your better TV series. The villain now is played by the guy that plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. The main actor, oh God, he played in the X-Men.
X-Men, he was the freeze
Iceman?
cold guy.
Yeah, Iceman, I think it was.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Ashmore.
And then-
Sean Ashmore.
Yes.
yeah. And then there's Dominic Monaghan. Is that his surname? He was in Lost. He was a guitar player, and he was also one of the hobbits
Yeah, I think he was
in
Mary.
Lord of the Rings.
Is it Mary?
Yeah,
On Lord of the Rings? Okay. Yeah, so the cast has really been expanded upon and improved upon. And they showed off some of the television, and apparently now what's going to happen is within the game you're going to come to a point where you have to make a decision, and based on that decision it will launch you into an episode of the TV series, and the TV series is coming at it from the viewpoint of the villain side of it. And then the TV series, basically the episodes, they said were going to be no more than about 20 minutes long. And then it'll bring you back out of the episode into the game, picking up back in from the hero aspect. Because in video game you play as the hero, and in the television show you're looking kind of through the eyes, if you will, of the villain side of it. So it sounds very interesting. And most importantly, I think everything we saw at Gamescom showed it looked good. And it, I think, alleviated a lot of fears that the game was potentially going to have this TV integration that was going to be kind of janky and not living up to what the hype should be. Let's see. Microsoft then announced all 360 games with gold were going to be backwards compatible moving forward. So that's kind of a good news, and it's something I think we all kind of expected. It wasn't a big surprise. It just was nice to have them confirm that.
Yeah, I think that's to compete with PSN, because on PlayStation Plus, like this month alone, you get 4 games on PS4.
Right.
And 2 of them are obviously PS3, but they're like cross-buy ones. So yeah, it's a good move, and it goes back to that old thing where competition is better for us, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
We reap the benefit of it.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm pleased they're doing that.
Yeah. So was I.
I'm quite impressed with Microsoft at this conference. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was a lot of things they announced, but I think the conference was well paced.
Yeah.
And it reaffirmed kind of the direction they've been going in a good way. They announced a new chat pad, which for those that love the chat pad, I'm one of them. I loved my chat pad on the 360.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was
Me
Although
too.
it weighed 500 pounds.
yes, yep.
Well.
What I was happy to
Because
hear.
I can't type on that screen for nothing.
No.
That looks like Greg trying to do voice to text.
Thank you for that, Nicole. Yeah, no.
Love
So
you,
the
buddy.
chat pad, one of the nice integrations they did with it, two actual things. One, it has the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack in it. It's done away. That's good English. It's done away with the proprietary headphone attachment. So a lot of people are concerned. Well, you can't use your existing Xbox One headset that came with the unit, but they're including a headset with the chat pad. So at least you're not going to be stuck not having a chat pad or a headset that wouldn't work with your controller. There's volume controls built into the chat pad, similar to the old the headset hockey puck. I call it the hockey puck. It's just a headset puck that would plug into your controller. It had the volume controls. That is now built into the chat pad, and two programmable keys on the chat pad, so you could program it
I'm
for
liking that idea.
screenshots or whatever you wanted. So
I did say that was coming later, though.
Yeah.
The programmable buttons, they are on the pad, but to actually implement them and program them to what you want it to use it for, like record that or screenshot, that will be coming in early 2016, unfortunately.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I did not catch that. Okay. Well,
I saw that in an interview afterwards with someone. I can't remember who it was, but yeah.
Okay.
It's coming later.
Chat pad question.
I have a chat pad maybe answer.
You don't. Are they going to put them in colors? I hate that it's white.
You can have it. It's just like
this
you can
is
have it in
black.
any color as long as it's black. Yeah.
Yeah, this is black.
You can have it in any color as long as it's black. Well, guess what? Black will be fine.
There you go. Black
Well,
it is.
my 360 is red.
Right.
And I have the Gears controller,
Right.
and the white just looks horrific up against it. It looks like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Halloween gone wrong at Christmas.
No.
So I really don't like it.
Yeah. You know what I did? I painted mine black. I took the chat pad apart and I painted it black.
I just might go ahead and do that because the
Yeah.
kids play on the 360 still, and the chat pad still works.
They did actually bring a black one out eventually, didn't they, for the elites?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. After I painted mine black, they brought out the black. I was like, really? Thanks.
You were ahead of your time.
Yes.
They also talked about the new UI. Well, we saw that actually post-conference. They didn't actually show it at the conference. But the new...
Yeah, there's a video on the Xbox dashboard, isn't there?
Yes. So it looks extremely different. They definitely...
It looks like Windows 10's Xbox interface, which I like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so is this a good thing?
Yeah.
It looks...
I've never been an advocate of the Xbox One's dashboard. It's a well-known fact I hate it. But this looks a massive improvement.
Yeah. It I think more than anything, it looks functionally a lot faster.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, that will be good news for a lot of people. Killer Instinct Season 3, they announced Rash, who is a new character coming into Season 3, or actually, he's available now. So he's playable in Season 2. So he's one of the Battletoads, for those that don't know. And then they announced Season 3 for Killer Instinct, and they said they're going to have more guest characters coming for Season 3. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if they're going to start utilizing some of Microsoft's other key iconic characters. Maybe we're going to get a Master Chief playable character or a Spartan. Probably not Master Chief, but they'll maybe make a Spartan available in Killer Instinct.
Mortal Kombat X have sort of like doing a bit of that, aren't they? They're using different characters. They've just released a Predator DLC. You can play as different sort of like well-known brands which aren't normally associated with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense, especially within Killer Instinct. It's such a, the story itself is kind of out there. So why not? Then let's see, Cobalt, I think, is probably the big. I won't even call it an indie title because it's not an indie title anymore. It's a Microsoft-owned title.
It's first party now, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's made by Mojang, who
or
did
Mojang.
Minecraft.
Either
Sorry.
way is
Yeah.
proper. Yeah, I found that out this past week.
Yeah.
Mojang or Mojang. Don't give us grief over it. Both are properly pronounced. But Cobalt, yeah, looked kind of interesting.
God, that was a pissing contest all to yourself.
Yes, I know. And then the final big announcement, and this is big only for Mike Chin and myself and maybe a couple others, Halo Wars 2.
I'm excited for it. I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
I know
When
you
we
guys
started-
jizzed all over WhatsApp, though.
Well, when we started watching the sort of like trailer for that, we kept thinking, "Oh, is this a new Halo spin-off franchise or everything?"
Right.
And then halfway through, Greg called it. He went, "It's Halo Wars 2," and it was, and we all went, "Yay!"
But I kept I'm like, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it? No, it can't be. It is. It's totally Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was.
even goosebumps right there, right now. Yeah. Halo Wars
And
2.
it was only a teaser, and it were all CGI because obviously, but that enemy guy, oh, it looks brilliant, doesn't it? It looks really good.
Well, and that was one of the great things about Halo Wars, the first one. In fact, I would recommend anybody go onto YouTube and watch. A lot of people have strung together the Halo Wars cutscenes into one like playable movie, and you could even
Yeah.
do that in the game. I think.
I think they were some of the best CGI
Oh, God, yeah.
cutscenes on the 360, weren't they? Yeah. I've still got my copy of Halo Wars somewhere.
Yeah,
I won't sell that.
In fact, I think Halo Wars kind of gave the inspiration that the Spartans, not just Master Chief, were badasses. Because I mean, up until Halo Wars, really, Master Chief had really been the only Spartan that you really got to see in games, and he kind of seemed like he was the only one of his kind, and there was nobody else that was really on his level. And Halo Wars was the first time I saw, hey, there's other Spartans. It's not just Master Chief is this lone wolf. There were others, and there's others out there, and holy crap, look at what they can do. So that it changed my whole perspective of Halo, in terms of it just opening up the universe, and I really saw the universe as an expanded universe for the first time when I played Halo Wars. So yeah, I'll stop talking about it now.
But just to add on that, it actually worked with the controller as well. They
Yeah.
implemented it perfectly for the controller,
Yeah, it was
which is hard
fantastic.
for an RTS.
No,
So let's just sort of get it right again.
yes,
It's a different developer, obviously, because was it Ensemble Studios who did the original? They shut them down, didn't they?
What a tragedy. Yeah. So Ensemble Studios was shut down basically before Halo Wars shipped. I think they were told they were shutting down before it shipped, and they basically stuck around to ship the game. And then I think they hired out, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody did some DLC maps for it. And if it's Creative Assembly, I'll laugh. But Creative Assembly is the developer now making Halo Wars 2, and Creative Assembly is owned by Sega. So Microsoft has basically, gone out to Sega and saying, hey, that developer that you're not doing anything with, Creative Assembly, let them make us a Halo Wars game. And so, yeah. Halo Wars 2, it's coming. All right. But that's it for announcements. But you guys, I have some great news for you. Nicole.
Oh boy.
Jason has a quiz.
Yes, indeed. Well done, Nicole. Yes.
Oh,
Oh
no.
boy.
Yes. Podcast trivia. Jason Johnson, after taking the week off last week, he has come back around and given us some trivia for this week. So,
Because he knew I'd be here, so I could quiz.
yes, Mark.
Actually,
It's very
I
quick.
love Jason.
The DLC for Halo Wars was done by former employees of Ensemble, and it was called Robot Entertainment.
Ah, okay. Well done. Whoever put that in the chat, or if you
No,
found
it was. I've just searched, Googled it.
He
All right.
Googled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Googled.
Google is our friend.
I've
All
closed
right.
Google now, honestly,
Yes.
Jason.
Everybody, hands off your keyboards. Here we go. Nicole, we're going to start with you.
Oh, God bless
Actually,
America.
no. Nicole, we will not start with you.
Woohoo!
We will start with Mark, and then we will go to Kim. No, we will go to Nicole, and then Kim.
He's looking
You sure?
for me to
Make
get
your
a
mind up.
stupid Nintendo question. That's what it is.
You are correct. All
I
right,
should get
Mark.
points for that shit.
Mark, which of these is not a starting class for Dark Souls? Which of
Ooh.
these is not a starting
I've
class
heard this
for
as
Dark
well.
Souls? A. Knight. B. Bandit. C. Pyromancer. D. Assassin. Which of these is
Pyromancer's-
not a starting class for Dark Souls?
Pyromancer is definite because that's a class I played. And Sue Moo in the chat says you look like a cage fighter, so, but that's not a class neither. He likes your guns, Greg. Oh, God. Knight. What was the other two? Sorry.
There's Knight, Bandit, Pyromancer, or Assassin. Which
So
of
you
these?
can't put these
not.
up in the,
I think
in the chat.
I could.
I
You don't have
think
to. I'm just asking.
No, I could.
think it's I think Bandit was not a class in Dark Souls.
All right, hang on. Hold on. Before we go any further, I will do this so the audience can see it as well as you guys can. So, you are saying Bandit, and I am going to say Kim. Which of these is not a starting class for Dark
I
Souls?
know where it is now.
Is it
now.
A, Knight, C, Pyromancer, or D,
Jason,
Assassin?
you evil bastard.
Crap, and I didn't play that much Dark Souls. I'm gonna go with Assassin.
Kim, you just bested Mark Wright. Well done. You've been on fire. On fire. All right. Well done. Yes.
And it
Nicole.
wasn't Knight. I was one of those.
It's
So.
still freaking too tiny for me to see.
Well,
Go for
that
it.
is not
My
my
arms are crossed.
fault.
See, I said the same thing earlier, but anyway.
Nicole.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which
Can you
city?
make it bigger, Greg?
Nicole, which city
Not
in
the
the
size of a boat, it's the
original
motion of the ocean.
which city in the original Pokemon Red and Blue features a
Ah,
level
Pokemon.
called Pokemon Tower? Is it Cerulean City, Viridian City, Lavender City, or Pallet Tower? Sorry,
Can I
Lavender
text
Town.
my son?
No, you may not. You cannot
would
phone.
know.
You cannot phone a friend. Which city in the original Pokemon Red and Blue features a level called Pokemon Tower? Is it A, Cerulean City, B, Viridian City, C,
Cerulean
Lavender
City,
Town?
Just go for it. I don't care. So, Mark, it's your turn, Kim.
Sorry, which did you say, Nicole?
Cerulean.
Mark, which city in the original
See?
Pokemon Red and Blue features a level called Pokemon Tower? Is it A,
Hates Jason.
B, Viridian City, C, Lavender Town, D, Pallet Tower?
Well,
Is it?
Viridian and Lavender sound quite pleasant, don't they? Pallet's just some lumps of wood stuck together, so I'll say pallet. Pallet Tower.
Kim, which city in the original Pokemon Red and Blue features a level called Pokemon
Oh my
Tower?
God, I hate Jason.
Is it B, Viridian City, or C, Lavender Town?
Crap.
You can tell
Lavender
we-
Town.
You can tell we're not Nintendo players or Pokemon players, can't you?
No.
Kim
I-
Woods, rocking the quiz.
Oh my
yes. Well done, Lavender
Right,
Town.
hang on.
Blue.
Stop the podcast.
Holy
How
shit.
much, Kim, how much did you pay Greg for the answers?
You don't
Right?
want to know. You don't want to know.
Yeah.
You had to tell him it was bigger than we all thought. What?
My lips are sealed. Nicole, you're fired. All right, Kim, your question.
Yes.
In Shovel Knight, which boss resides within the
Oh.
Iron Whale?
He's just
Is
finished
it
his game as Jason as well.
A,
He's-
Treasure Knight, B, Polar Knight, C, Tinker Knight, or D, Propeller Knight?
Oh crap.
They're all stupid. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna say Propeller Knight because a whale, boats. I don't know.
Kim Woods. Nicole, in Shovel Knight, which boss resides within the Iron Whale? Is it A, Treasure Knight, B, Polar Knight, or C, Tinker Knight?
really? Did he swallow Tinker Bell? I'll just say treasure for the hell of it. I don't know.
Well,
even
for
know what
not
it is.
knowing, you did good. Yeah, it's Treasure Night. Well done. Yes, Treasure Night. All right, it's that time. It's back of the box time.
Oh dear.
I actually like Back of the Box.
Yeah.
All right, yes, and for the sake
Right.
of
Usually get it right, so.
yeah, I'm just going to read this. I will not print this out, so you have to listen carefully.
All right.
Here we go. This is a back of the box description of a video game. In our nation's darkest hour, Americans cry out for a hero to free a war-torn Manhattan from invading forces, join the resistance, and take the war to the streets. They've taken away our freedom. Now it's time to take it back. Mark Wright, what game am I?
Oh God. New York.
Mark. In our nation's
isn't-
darkest hour,
Yeah, it
Americans
isn't
cry out.
Homefront. 'cause
You're
that
just going to
was
talk over it, so I'm not
different
going to say
area. Yeah, that was. I'm thinking. You've asked me a question. I'm thinking.
I know. Apparently,
The
I was
only
just
one I
trying to
can
help
think
you
of.
out.
The only, the only one I can think of with New York was that. Oh God, it got shunned as well as a crap game. That one, alternate universe, that Liberty thing. Oh, what's it got? Fall of Liberty.
No.
Bollocks.
Kim, in our nation's darkest hour, Americans cry out for a hero to free a war-torn Manhattan from invading forces. Join the resistance and take the war to the streets. They've taken away our freedom. Now it's time to take it back.
Sounds like Escape from New York, but that's not it.
Right?
Yeah. Or Snake Plissken when you need him. Ark. Right? Oh God, I don't know. Not the right one. I'm gonna say Siphon Filter, but only because I don't know.
Incorrect. Nicole, in our nation's darkest hour, Americans
Don't
cry
bother
out.
reading it over. I'm just going to save you a few steps there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, I'm not going to make you do it when I really honestly haven't a fucking clue. And that's being polite.
I have a hint. Jason has provided us with a hint.
Oh
Well,
my God.
yay. What's the hint?
I would like
no,
you
you
to
have to
give a
answer
guess. Give a guess.
I don't know is the answer.
Incorrect.
See?
All right. Here is the clue, and this will be coming back to you, Mark. One console generation. Your hint is it's one console generation before Homefront.
Oh, that's me shafted then because
Does it
Yeah.
feel good?
yeah, it was a bit
Doing
painful.
Vaseline.
All right.
So it's a PS2 or an Xbox original.
I have a second hint I could give.
Thank
Mhm.
God.
Oh, no. Let Mark answer first. Like he did to me. Go for it.
Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I'm going on the Liberty theme here with
Right.
New York.
Right, and that's totally wrong.
Bollocks.
Kim,
Yes.
any guesses here? Mark was correct. It is in the generation of Xbox and PS2.
You forget it. We were 12.
Rocky and Bullwinkle
Speak yourself.
save the world. I don't know.
All right. Mark might be the only one to get this because he may be the only one to have played it. That's the other particular problem here. So
Oh.
it was a third-person game.
Oh, I'm going to give you my answer, though, first.
Okay.
Pokemon Takes Manhattan. No. Sorry.
It was a third-person game,
If
and
it was PlayStation 2, I wouldn't have played it because
it was
I
on
didn't really have a
Xbox
PlayStation.
and PlayStation 2.
oh god, I might have played it then.
All right. Here's your
Uh.
big clue because I don't want to drag this on any longer.
Thank
It's
God.
a two-word title. One of the words is fighters.
I love the chat's cracking me up.
All right.
Metro, Donkey Kong.
Pac-Man.
Hey.
Fighters. Nah, I don't know. All the fighters I know is Virtua Fighters.
The
But that's a fighting
second
game.
word is fighters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Freedom
Pokemon
Fighters.
Fighters Take Manhattan.
Mark, you are correct.
What is it?
Freedom Fighters.
That was a guess. I've never even
Yes.
heard of it.
Oh, you've never played Freedom Fighters? That was a fantastic game. Yes, it was a third-person
No.
action shooter. Yeah. All
I
right.
played Freedom Fighters, but that wasn't it. So
Okay.
no.
All
No,
right.
that was in the backyard with paintball guns.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, probably.
Jason
No,
Johnson.
definitely. Oh, from the makers of Hitman 2. Yeah, no, never played that.
Yes.
We're gonna get in trouble.
Are we?
I
We
don't
are?
know.
Yeah.
We just keep.
It was
talking over
originally
Greg.
titled Battle
Sorry.
for Liberty Island, so I was on the right lines there.
You were. You were on the right lines.
Right.
Nicole, I did that on purpose. I'm going to help you out in a
Oh.
second. Keep talking amongst yourselves, but thank Jason Johnson for sending in that trivia. And
Thank you, Jason. You
remind
Thanks,
everybody
Jason.
remind everybody how they could potentially send in that trivia while I try and correct an error that is of massive proportion.
They
Uh-oh.
could send it in via an email or an
I'm sorry.
email.
Oh, what is that? An e-mither?
Yeah, they can
What's
email us, which is podcast@g4te.com. Or they could do what Chapstick did last week. We could send in a speak pipe.
Yes, we do have a SpeakPipe channel. What is it? sp.g4te.com?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
You remembered
see?
the subdomain at last.
See, thank
My
God that's not a
Alzheimer's
quiz
is
question.
only slowly setting in. It's not completely there. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do.
Bongo has a big pecker. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm reading show notes, going whatever. Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Well, let us get on with games that we can play for the week of August 8th to the 14th of August. Nicole, what games
Okay.
might we be able to play?
We might be able to play Actual Sunlight on the Vita, August 11th. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Ooh, is that a Bioshock reference?
No, but it looks good.
But
It
it's
looks
supposed
good.
to be good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's getting a lot
Okay.
of praise. Yeah.
Oh, and because Mario Kart wasn't enough, we have Garfield Kart. 3DS,
Woohoo!
August 11th. I know, right?
I'll
Gauntlet,
be all over
Slayer
that.
Edition. Poor Greg. That choked him up. He does not want to see Garfield on a cart. And
Hairball.
I'm going to say this wrong. Please let me say it right. Goat Simulator. There's no T in that word. Simulator. Well, there is a T. There's not two. For the PS4 and 3 on August 11th. Hacknet on the PC on the 12th. And Paddington. What a cute little bear. Adventures in London. 3DS. Toy Soldiers Toy Chest for pretty much everything.
Love those games.
And Christopher Brookmeyer's Bedlam for pretty much everything. Oh,
Ooh,
even the
Bedlam.
map.
Bedlam. Can I just butt in a sec? Is that the game what Seth McNitt's working on? He's working for the developer now, the ex-Bosswave host, or keeps popping in now and again to host. But
I don't know.
I'm sure he's working on a game called Bedlam.
All right.
Whether it's the
Okay.
same one, so yeah. So we know
Alright.
the guy who's working on that.
Seth McNitt, if you're listening, send us codes.
Yeah, send us codes. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
And now that Mr. Buttons butted in. No, I'm just kidding. No. Last but not least, Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings, which actually sounds like porn,
A little bit.
Really?
on Xbox.
Something that's on
August
Skinamax
14th.
late at night.
That's it. That's
Okay.
all.
Yeah, I think that actually came out. I think they released that a week early because didn't we see that, Mark? Or maybe there was a trial, a demo. Because I
Yeah.
downloaded something for it. Anyway. All right. Thank you for that, Nicole.
You're
Teflon's
quite
just
welcome.
put in the chat. It is the game Seth's working on. So
All right. Well, we hope it's
Mm.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't want to
So
have to
Seth
give it.
McNitt, we want codes.
Yeah, I don't want to have to give a negative review for Seth's first game. But, I mean, we are, of course, of the utmost professionalism, so we would be honest.
Yes.
Totally not. We will give you great reviews, Seth. All right. Let's talk about community stuff. Let's talk about what's going on. Not a lot. It's summertime. The golf club challenge is on a summer holiday, so we have put that to bed for a little while. You're still, of course, welcome to play the golf club and any of the challenge courses that we put out there. You just have to look for OC X-Gen Challenge, and you can get in there and compete against other people that have already played through those challenges. But new challenges, we're just putting a little hiatus on that. See if we come back around to it maybe in the wintertime. We Are Epic. That's a Facebook thing. Right, Mark?
Yep, certainly is. Basically, you submit a 30-second or less video clip of an awesome gaming moment you've had or a funny moment, and you submit it on our Facebook page, and then you entered into a quarterly prize fund. There's some judges we have who will narrow the shortlist down and then pick an eventual winner.
Right. And if you pay us enough money, we will let you know what their names are so you can pay them more money. So definitely submit your video, and it's super easy. You just go onto the Facebook page. You basically you get to the We Are Epic section, and you post up a video. It says, you want to post something. You go to share it. You drag and drop your video into the little box. You make a comment, and then hopefully everybody loves your video.
And there's even a shortcut domain to it, which is called epic.g4t.com.
Thank you for mentioning that, because if we didn't mention that, Dorian would yell at me for days.
We won't want that.
No, we do not want that.
No, because he fills up the WhatsApp chat for it.
I know. Seriously. You go to sleep, you wake up, and there's like 50,000 chatpad messages. Chatpad messages? Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApp.
You got chatpad on the mind.
I do. I want one.
Yeah. We've got a couple of hot lap challenges going on at the moment.
All right, let's talk about those.
We've got the Project Cars Hot Lap Challenge for August, which is run by Gonzo_FK on Twitter.
Right.
Ian Alexander. The track for this month is Cadwell Park Club Circuit, and the car is a Ford Sierra Cosworth RS500, which is a fantastic car. I used to work on them back in the day.
Right.
So yeah, get your fastest time in and tweet your lap time photographs to Gonzo_FK.
All right.
We've also got the F1 2015 Hot Lap Challenge, which is every 2 weeks. This has just finished. What are you two laughing at?
Nothing.
We're texting back and forth.
You like putting me off, don't you?
Yes.
This has just finished today.
All right.
Morty 1884 on PS4 and David the Alien on Xbox One. You make sure they're on your friends list so they can see the leaderboards.
Okay.
The track was Melbourne, or as Chapstick told me, Melbourne. You could use any car, and the final results for that were in third place the Taffman, who did a 125.993. Morty 1884 came second with a 125.833, and the winner, no surprise here, is always at the top of every bloody competition we do. It's Robbie, Manny Calavera, 125.183. And they're all tightly close.
Yeah, they
times,
were.
Aren't
That's
they?
nuts.
So well done, Robbie.
Nuts.
And Marty's going to put up the next challenge sometime this weekend, I think.
All right, excellent. One thing we forgot to talk about, Mark, from Gamescom,
Yeah.
Racing related, Forza 6
Forza
announced the community leagues.
Yep. Divisions and leagues.
Yeah, leagues. So you can do private leagues, which has me super excited because, face it, we could set up these challenges, but it could be more like a league, kind of like what Track does, but you no longer have to worry about creating a spreadsheet in your Excel file and sharing it onto the community page. It's all done.
Yeah, it'll do it all for you, yeah.
So that's kind of exciting stuff. All right.
Just say good night to Sumu. Christian Barclay's off to bed now. He's had a few beers tonight, celebrating the win, cricket win. England beat Australia today.
Nice. Hugs and kisses to the UK team. All right, Kim.
Yes.
Let's talk about victories achieved.
Okay, we shall do that. Let me go back to the show notes. Sorry.
See, I had to break up the little girl powwow going on.
No. We're innocent.
But yeah, so Kim, we know victories achieved, right? It's this contest we do. We like to give away money, so every once in a while we're kind of sick like that. We don't like to keep it for ourselves. We like to give it to our community, and this is a super easy one. You finish a game. You see the end credits rolling through. You take a selfie, like I should have done when I finished Submerged. By the way, I forgot to do that.
Exactly.
And then
Nice.
you shoot it off to the old Twitters. Kim, what's the Twitter handle they should shoot it off to? Make sure you get this right.
Yes, I will try my best. Stop pushing me. It's at it's at gate.com, G4TDOT. COM. So make sure you spell out the dot, or we'll never get it, or somebody else will get it, but they won't care. So
Exactly.
I like that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And then make sure you have hashtag victory achieved. Otherwise, it won't count. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not kidding.
It helps. It helps us to recognize that you're submitting.
Yeah, track it down. Yeah.
And please, pictures of your face. We
Yes.
don't want to see pictures of your toe or your thumb, even though I was like the worst offender of that for quite a while.
I think I did that once or twice.
I got yelled at for
Especially
that.
after what was it? The Walking Dead. I was crying so badly at the end of The Walking Dead. I was like, no, I'm not showing you guys this. So I sent you a picture of my thumb with a sad face on it. So
Yeah. I sent a picture of my thumb, and people thought it was not my thumb.
It's easy mistake to make. That's what
I'm the first one to make something.
All right, Kim,
So what
carry
episode
on.
we have this week then, Kim?
yes, we have Colin _FTW with Journey, and we have Amorous89 with Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. I still need to play that one.
Yeah,
And we
I've
have Colin _FTW and Sun with Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. Gee, many Christmas. And we have Colin again with Limbo.
Colin's been busy, man.
He has
Yeah.
been busy. And then we have Mark Hannix, or Mr. Nipples. That's what it says. With Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
I believe that should read, by the way, Mark Hannix,
Freedom.
Mr. Gorilla Nipples.
Yeah. Silverback.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bongo's
I
put the
was going
title
to say
down wrong.
Bongo was here.
Yes.
It's Freedom Cry, not Fry Creed. Fry
Freedom.
Freedom. Oh my god. This is going
Yes, this
It was you and not me.
podcast is slowly, yeah.
It's not my fault. And then we have, hold on a minute. I can't see.
Yeah, say this right.
We have Dastardly Jabby with Batman Arkham City.
Yes.
And then we have Hardly Dan with The Saboteur. And then we have
I love
Madras
that.
79 and Alex with Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
Yep.
And then we have S. Riffenberg with Taco.
Taco, yeah.
With
Okay, that's
Taco
Danny.
Taco no Fajita.
Taiko.
Enchilada.
Taiko. No. Satsujin.
Thank you. Yeah, what she said.
Right,
Sorry,
what she
I
said.
butchered it so terribly.
That was Shannon,
Um,
by the way, who wrote into us.
Yes. it
Yes.
was. Who we felt was a woman,
No,
is a man.
why'd you have to go there, Kim?
He
Why'd you have to
stroke
go there?
she
Yes.
Shannon. Write in and let us know what
Shannon,
gender you are.
Yes, please write us in and give us the big middle finger within the email because we deserve
Please,
it.
wear ass hats.
He stroke she will
Yes.
never listen again now.
I know, right? And now we have MTB _Map1 with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Yes.
Oh,
And we have Bongo the Sane with GTA 5. Very
Yes.
well. Very
Yeah.
good done.
Yes, very good to everybody who completed games. And remember, you have until October 31st to submit one of your victories achieved. It only takes one to potentially, that's easy for me to say, potentially win. No, I didn't go there, Mark. To win the contest. Yes, it's a random draw, so get your achievements in and your victory achieves in, and you'll get entered into the contest. And you could win 20 space bucks. Either
I might
PSN,
have,
Microsoft, Steam's. We do it all.
I might have Dragon Age done by then.
Probably not, Kim. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. That does it for the victories achieved, and I think that does it for the podcast. So let's wrap things up here. If you want to be part of the podcast, like we said before, we do broadcast each and every week, sometimes on Fridays, now sometimes on Saturdays. We're testing out Saturdays for a few more times. Follow us on Twitter. That will be the best way to know when we're going live, whether it be on Friday or Saturday. We will alert you to those facts. And our Twitter handle is @OC_podcast. If you want to just be part of the Twitch chat, just go over to live.g4te.com. That's the easiest way to find us. Type that into your browser. It gets you there magically. If you're already sitting on Twitch and you're like, all right, well, I'm already here, then just search for G4TE and you'll find us as well.
Or if you follow us, you'll get a notification when we go live.
Even better,
Yep.
Mark. That's a great idea. You should follow us. And if you follow us, we might even mention you in the beginning of the show. We do take emails, just like Shannon graciously sent us an email this week, as well as Jason Johnson. He emailed us some podcast trivia. So podcast@g4te.com. That's how you email the show. Send us your emails, angry or kind. Shannon, I expect an angry email. I do. I'm a realist at this point.
Sorry.
But yeah, send us questions. We would love some questions as well. They can be gaming related. They can just be life questions. We are scholared in those ways. No, we're not.
You meant scarred.
Yeah, scarred.
Yeah,
Scarred.
definitely.
They're very similar. We have a Facebook page because that's what us old folk like to do. Facebook. Actually,
You even used that this week, didn't you,
I
Greg?
know I did. It was so
Holy
new and
cow.
neat. Yeah. Hey, look, pussy.
Yeah, he's back.
fb.g4te.com. That is the easiest way to get to our Facebook page, and in fact, that is exactly how I got to ours. But if you want an even faster route to submit a video for our Epic We Are Epic contest, then just type in epic.g4te.com. We have a little Green Man Gaming voucher dealio for 20% off. Just type in gmg.g4te.com. I can say that as fast as I possibly can. That'll get you some info on how to get a 20% voucher. You can always donate to the podcast if you want. It's basically donating to our prize fund or my pockets, one of the two. I'm not going to tell you which, but we do accept donations for the prize fund. It really is for the prize fund. We turn it around, we give it back to the community. We never ask for any other money for basically funding the podcast. That's already taken care of. It's done. We don't care about that. We just want to make sure we continue to give prizes back to the community. iTunes, Stitchers reviews, that's a thing? Stitcher. Anyway, iTunes and Stitcher reviews. Give us some, please. We could use them. We appreciate them. It helps us get more visibility. And with that said, let's do any shout-outs you want, starting with Pussy Girl, Kim.
Great, that'll be a nickname.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, dear Lord.
Hey,
Thanks, Greg.
you're the one with the cat on screen, not me.
I can't help it. He won't stay away. I just want to thank our lovely listeners and our lovely viewers for, coming out and hanging out with us on their Saturday nights when they could probably be doing, anything else. So,
Probably better off for it in reality, right?
Yeah, probably. So, thank you for that,
Okay. All right. You're supposed to, Kim. The
Yes.
process, by the way. I know you're a newbie still.
Yeah,
You're still
sorry.
you're green behind the ears. It's okay. I see it.
Yeah, a little bit there.
Just pass it along to somebody else you want to have do a shout out.
All right.
Just hand it off.
Go on.
I want to shout out my two nephews, Liam and James, who have come up today and are staying with my mum for 2 weeks. So they're only around the corner, so we'll be seeing them just about every day for the next 2 weeks. I'm sure there'll be lots of FIFA going on. And I want to shout out the track guys for this week's great F1 racing games. I really enjoyed it, so thanks everyone. And over to Nicole. She's laughing again. Yeah.
Staring her down.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally
God.
staring her
Oh,
down.
it's going for her.
To our beautiful people in the chat and to Shannon, because we need to suck up severely now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Greg does, because he's the one that put an idea in her head. And I want to thank whoever it was that just sent me a request on Skype and has naughty bitch showing in the picture.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'll delete that.
Yeah.
And all our beautiful listeners and I would say watchers, but that sounds creepy. So
I
Yeah.
just said viewers.
yes. And
Shout
then you
out.
can find me anytime on Twitter, OC_Amaryllis.
Right.
And I sent our dear friend Shannon, our new friend. See, I'm sucking up. A little follow there. So,
All
and
right.
thanks to Jason too for his beautiful quiz. I hate Pokemon.
Exactly.
All
Pokemon
right.
takes Manhattan, Greg.
It's not my fault, man. I just read it as it is. Well, I want to thank the three of you, first and foremost. Thank you for making this week's podcast. It's always a pleasure podcasting with you guys. Of course, a shout out to all the listeners because, as you can tell, this show is a community show. So without the community, we are just a shell of a podcast. I want to shout out to Ed Oman, who is over at Uppercut Games. Thank you for sending us over the codes on Submerged. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. And shout out to Shannon. Obviously, Shannon, we did you wrong, but we'll do you right next time. Maybe. Yeah.
Greg said it, not me.
Yeah. I want to shout out Ian Chadwick from last week. I don't think we actually gave him a thank you for his SpeakPipe quiz that he sent in. So thank you for
and
that.
if you'd like to do it again, then
Yeah.
saying. That was nice.
We might even be able to get him on the show one of these days if we're doing a Saturday show. I think Saturday he's on like Wednesday in Australia. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's it. I think we can wrap this podcast up. The only other shout out I would have would be for the English language because it has been extremely difficult for me today. So thank you for that. And yeah, that's a podcast. So Mark, cue up that outro music. Let's get out of here.
Oh crap! I'm not ready. Hang on. Here we go. I am gone.
Yeah.
He's stabbing us with
Just say that to the missus all the time, don't you? Just wait. Let me get my blue pill.